Hey everybody! In today's video, I am going to be trying out a new to me watercolor medium that I am so super excited about. I have searched most of my adult life for a watercolor pencil that I could be friends with, and I mean a traditional watercolor pencil. There are all kinds of fun water-soluble pencils that I use all the time and I love. But I've tried traditional watercolor pencils for decades, and a couple of things just made me not have them as a go-to medium. So I was super excited to find the pencils that I'm using today because they have everything I want. So I'm starting with this adorable male-themed background stamp. I'm going to be testing out the pencils. These are Caran Aquarelle pencils. And I had read a bunch of reviews of these, and I decided to take a chance and spend some money and try these out because I want this to work so badly. So I bought myself a little birthday present and I got this set of pencils, and I'm going to try several colors for you today and for me. So one of my complaints about watercolor pencils is that I put the pencil down on the paper, which that's what they're designed to do, and then I add water. And then I still see the pencil marks, and the watercolor doesn't blend smoothly like traditional pigment does. That was very frustrating to me. I never found a way to really make that work well, and so I didn't understand why they were in that format. So there are ways around that. You can pick the pigment up directly from the pencil, but then you can't sharpen the pencils. There are all kinds of reasons why I didn't think that that was ideal. The reason I've always wanted a pencil is I could take a single pencil to the park and I could sketch something out and come home and paint that. But I could paint it in the field with a water brush just to get the blending and the tones and the shading right. It would be great for doing value studies. And I just have wanted this medium to work for me so badly. So when I saw how these blended and how there are no pencil marks, which I will show you many times throughout the video, with several different pigments, different colors, I was just astounded. Where have these been all my life? My other problem was vibrancy of the color. They all seemed very dull. As you can see with this red heart, there is nothing dull about these. They are amazing. Absolutely bright, vivid colors that I had been looking for and that are more similar to my traditional watercolor pigments. Now, because some pigments can be funky in any medium, reds are often, they behave differently. Sometimes grays too. I talked about this in my Caran marker video. The grays blend a little bit differently in that medium. So I wanted to be sure that I covered those things with this project. So I'm actually going to make all the envelopes gray and red. Those were perfect test colors and they ended up being super cute on my envelopes. The gray is really beautiful. It ends up looking like graphite, but then it's blended out like watercolor. So it's perfect for adding the little shadows and a little bit of dimension on this envelope. But I'm going to show you how you're not going to see one pencil line. It just looks like I painted it. Perfect, perfect, perfect blending. I love these. Very, very excited. So you'll see more projects from me with these pencils in the months to come. If I know what month it is. You know how it is, 2020. Now, finally, one more thing that you always want to test when you have a marker or a water-soluble pencil is it a glazing medium, meaning after it's dry, is it set and it can't be reactivated? Or is it a workable medium, always, even after it's dry? Well, this is a glazing medium. So I was able to add that shadow underneath the heart and not pull any of that red into the little gray area. I love glazing mediums. Not all traditional pigments act this way. Some of them do. But typically watercolor pencils don't act this way. So that was kind of fun. There is another pencil that does do this, and that is Derwent Inktense. Once those are dry, after you've initially blended them, they are permanent. So that's a really nice feature. It's something I always loved about Inktense, but these are just phenomenal. So those are actually more of an ink form. These are traditional watercolor pencils. So I am going to demonstrate that at the end so you can see what a glazing medium in a pencil does. So here I will put down several different colors just so I can make sure that the blending is great across several colors. And then I'll show you the glazing feature. There is another glazing medium that I really like, and that is Hero Art's liquid watercolors. Those, once they're dry, you can layer other colors on top of them without disturbing the layer underneath, which is really nice. And I do have a video on that on my channel. So I'll try a yellow, I'll try a blue, I'll try a purple, just to make sure that I'm not just having the results that I want with that one pigment. So now the red's dry, so you'll see me try to work that bottom line. Nothing's happening. Staying put. That's perfect. That means I can glaze another color on top of it. So I will add this blue, and then you're going to see how you can build up transparent layers with this medium, which is just phenomenal for a pencil. It's great. So I will show you what that looks like close up. There are a bunch of different techniques and effects that you can do with glazing mediums that you can't do with the more workable mediums. So I find that just kind of an exciting option in a watercolor format. Now this little colored envelope I'll use for something else. Like I said, I'm going to stick with the red and gray envelopes for my card. And I'm using an old gel press brayer cleaning sheet for the background because it had such a vivid red and it goes so perfectly. But look at that smooth blend. That is an awesome pencil. And I love that I can just sharpen these to a really sharp point and color in small spaces. So here's the blue sitting on top of the dry red layer. Beautiful transparency, really different from just mixing those two colors. If I were mixing them in a palette or something like that, you can do all kinds of different things with the glazing medium. So finally, I added a mini action wobbler for the very last envelope to turn this into an interactive card. These lay totally flat for mailing. You won't have to pay extra postage or anything. So head over to my blog for more information, and thanks so much for watching.